Everybody, I'm Stacy with Stacy's Organizing and Decorating for Life. I'm here to help you organize your thoughts and decorate your perspectives. So today our topic is going to be the formula for success. So if you're interested in hearing what our formula for success is today, then please hit the like and subscribe button below if you haven't already. If you're new to my channel, I have to remind you that I'm not a doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, scientist, any of those things, but sometimes I may share what I learn on those things. I'm here to help you organize your thoughts and decorate your perspectives, as I said, and I have a web page called stacyforlife.com because what I am, indeed, is a life coach. On my web page, you'll find a monthly blog that I write, and I invite you to check that out, but also there's a description of the services that I provide as a life coach in helping people deal with addiction, codependency, and grief, but not exclusively to those things, because underneath those things lies a desire for healing and healthy relationships, as well as development of spiritual and soul consciousness. So if you or anyone you know need help in any of those areas, please feel free once again to look me up at stacyforlife.com. So, as usual, on Tuesdays I offer Topic Tuesday up, and I invite and encourage you to, to friend me on Facebook and check out my Facebook. I have Stacy Renee as my private Facebook page. So, on this page, I usually ask for people's thoughts and perspectives on whatever I'm thinking the topic may be for that day. So I offer a quote usually, and then people go from there on what their thoughts and perspectives are, and they comment. So I want to thank everybody who commented in today's posts like all other times. So hold on a sec. All right, my friends. So the quote today comes from Deepak Chopra, and it says, "Success in life could be defined as the continued expansion of happiness and the progressive realization of worthy goals." That's again Deepak Chopra. I want to thank the people who did comment. One was Shannon Stockwell. She herself is a coach, and she deals with, a lot of depression. People who are struggling with depression, there's a lot of those these days. So I invite you to check out Shannon Stockwell. She says that she loves this definition of success, that it does feel expansive. Because that is. We tend to constrict when we are depressed or when we're going through these cycles and changes and fears. And then Robert Grizzly Hansen, one of my friends, he also, commented, and I remember what he's talking about is what I considered success the time we saw each other, which was when I saw Robert. He's a big guy, and very tall, very, and so, like a football player. And so for me just to be able to throw Robert was a success. And I did throw Robert, and it's those doing these micro wins, because I'll tell you in a minute, but doing those micro things, a little bit at a time. So he says, what I consider success last time we saw each other versus what I consider success at my current status in life, I lean heavily towards your definition, which is really Deepak Chopra's. I just resonate with it. But thank you, Robert. Then Joey, my dear friend, he says, your definition, Stacy, I can always count on and rely on you. Again, that was Deepak. Thank you. Then Kurt says, success is individual and independent. Only the self can rate its success. Certainly in instances, mere survival is success, which many people are, probably at this time considering just survival as success, and that's good. Success can be measured by oneself to oneself. And then Thomas says, success for me is living another day substance-free, allowing me to engage in the purposeful life of love and service. Great comments, all y'all. Thank you very much. So, yes, the formula for success to me is that we take our micro, it's simple, because I like to keep things simple. We take our micro wins plus our macro, and that equals miracles. And being able to remember those, as I was talking with a friend this morning, and we were talking about 5 years ago what we didn't know was going to be happening today in our lives. She had retired and now she's gone back to work. She didn't plan on going back to work, but she's feeling successful with her work. She's in high demand and as a nurse, Justina, she's feeling successful in her work, because she knows that she's helping people. So it goes back to what Thomas was saying, Tom was saying, living a purposeful life, and for many of us, that's what success is. For me, success, obviously, is living in the jungle, minutes from the sea, But I didn't get there automatically. You know, it wasn't just like I decided I was going to do this. So I had to take those micro things, those little things, and to be able to do that, I had to get on the computer and research and find these things out and observe and stay focused on my goal, you know, because there were people that probably didn't think I would really do this that I was talking. A lot of times I've learned that many of the things that I've done, people would think, oh yeah, right, you know, and then they would get mad when I actually accomplished these things, you know, sometimes. And some wouldn't get mad, they'd just be like, dang, you know, she really did do it, you know. So people would think that I really wouldn't do stuff. So really it's about not what other people think. You know, success doesn't involve everybody being on board with what your ideas and dreams and goals and visions are. Success is within your soul. So when, you know, I was looking at what was success, you know, used to people would consider, like I said, you know, I think in another video, that the success would be the sports car with the big house in the background. This is what people, you know, back in the days of living in excess called for. But we've had to learn to adjust and adapt to the current situation. So what is success in the current situations? I do believe it is expansion, and if we don't expand, we're in real trouble. And so it's about feeding, again, the positive algorithms of our life. And I hope that this video does that for you and that it's able to offer some help for you today. So when I, you know, was thinking about, you know, the formula for success, you know, being the micro, those little things that we do. If you're struggling with depression, the little things may be getting up, brushing your teeth, and taking a shower. But that's a win. Because then, you know, maybe the next day or the next week, however, you know, you're going with the flow, you could get up, brush your teeth, take a shower, and do something else. It's being able to acknowledge those things and not let people on the outside influence that for you. That these things are big deals, and you just keep moving forward, doing a little bit more and a little bit more, you know. Doing these videos, sometimes they do good, sometimes they don't. But the real deal is that in my soul of souls, I feel good doing them because I know that I'm doing something to try to help other people. Also, like Tom was saying, like Deepak says, what Robert says, and what Shannon says. You know, Shannon's a person like me that we try to coach and help people that we've struggled too, and that we've used our struggle as the steps for our path. You know, instead of looking, you know, I posted something earlier this week, you know, about instead of looking back being sad, we look forward and be glad, you know, because we've learned so much. So I can guarantee that your talents and gifts and your success will lie in those things that you've overcome. So it's being able to not look back at those things and to be sad, but to see that you did overcome these things. You know, and that you're moving forward and moving forward. As we did in karate, you know, we learned how to move forward and instead of back up in defense, you know, is that if you move forward, then it's, you know, it's different. It teaches you a different mindset. It's not to say that you're aggressive. It's just to say that just keep moving forward. There were so many gifts and qualities that we learned when we took karate. I always encourage people that if you can, take some kind of karate or martial arts, but to remember to move forward. Being able to learn to look in the mirror at myself was something that was a big deal at that time when I began taking karate. So when I looked at what the micro plus the macro and the miracles, here's some of the ideas that I came up with. There's 4 of them that I want you to take away with this video as you look at those. So, you know, as I said before, when you're trying to make it, whether you're dealing with depression, I'm trying to say depression and drug issues at the same time, whether you're dealing with depression, addiction, whatever issues, you know, when you're trying to step out of that, overcome it, sometimes we do that one day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time, but just keep breathing and keep going, keep moving forward. You know, and secondly, you know, pay attention to your words, actions, and deeds. And others' words, actions, and deeds. But don't be too absorbed in that, not with judgment. Because that's the third thing, is to be able to observe versus judgment. So I'm going to put these 2 together because sometimes people's judgment at us requires, you know, we feel like we are required as humans to come back in defense or in judgment back. And that's really not what we need to do. And I myself, you know, in these crazy times of, you know, this these things coming up. Do you do this or do you do that? And I don't do this or do I do that? And I'm not trying to defend, or I don't need validation from the outside. So learning, we don't need validation from the outside, so we don't have to defend. You see, when people say things that are that's irritating to us or that is negative, what we can say to ourselves, and I hope that if you don't take anything else away from this, that you're able to take this away. What we can say to ourselves is, I have no judgment, I have no opinion of this, what they're saying to you, because that is their judgment and their opinion. You don't have to take that on. See, that's the big secret to success. A lot of people don't succeed because they're afraid of what other people are going to think. And that fear may expand out into their energy field, and then people are surely going to pounce on that, I'm really grateful for those micro wins. One time, even as small as in high school, we were in trouble and we were all lined up against a wall for skipping pep rally, out of all things. There were 250 kids got suspended from my school because we decided we wanted to go smoke instead of do pep rally or do whatever we do. So we're lined up there, and I'm telling my friends, I'm like, I am not going to get suspended for skipping pep rally. I'm just not. And so my friends just keep talking about how much trouble they're going to get into ignoring me, and I'm like, I'm just not going to get suspended for this. So I managed to sneak up and stand behind somebody who was getting their infraction at the time, and when they started to walk in, I ran up in behind them so I didn't get caught. So I did not get suspended. My friends are like, Stacy, like, you didn't even get suspended. What? And I'm like, I'm telling y'all, I'm not going to do that, And so that set me up for success in my future, because that was a little micro win in the past. But that taught me that I have to stay focused and not buy into this negative energy. So all that being said was to encourage you not to buy into the negative energy around you, so that you don't have to make a judgment, because we tend to want to defend and judge when people send us negative vibes. Your dreams and goals and visions, whatever they may be, if it's just getting up, maybe it's, getting another job at this time, maybe it's really realizing what life is about and, trying to find your purpose in this life. Because purpose, I think, is the key to happiness, is when we find our purpose. I feel like I have found my purpose, so whether or not I'm popular with it, it's okay, as long as I'm doing the best that I can do each and every day, So we've got, the observation versus judgment. Remember that a person's opinion of you is not your business, as it's said. So we know this. But let's take it a step further and to say, I have no judgment or opinion on this. I don't have a... So as soon as they say it and you catch yourself, they're saying stuff about you under their breath, or they're saying something sideways, then you can just, rather than saying, you can, as we talked last week, you can say, I have no opinion. I have no judgment about this. And then go on and give the energy to your dream. Whatever it is that you're focused on, don't let it dash your dream. This is why most people, don't follow through on whatever success is for them. And then the last part is, the fourth one, is to be open-minded. We don't know how our success is going to play out, whatever it is our dreams and goals and visions are. I think most people are longing for the human connection right now. For me, I was invited to lunch, or invited to have a coffee by somebody I don't know, and I'm looking forward to meeting that person. They're in the same kind of field as me. It will be fun, because I can learn something from somebody. It's being willing to learn, and everything else. Say, I don't know. I love learning from people. I love listening to people. Because if you're a listener, you can learn. If you're talking all the time, you can't learn. So that's why I love this exchange, when I'm able to do this and I'm able to get these comments and able to sit with people. I love to sit. I'm praying, for creativity right now, to be able to expand into the healing sessions that I do. And, the creativity to be able to expand. Hopefully these videos are insightful and give you some kind of hope and direction, and give you some courage to be able to say, I don't have an opinion on this. So you're not buying into that negativity and owning it, because that's not you, And I hope that I'm able to, have that creativity to expand into my writing. It's not someplace that I have to be right now. It's a process, and I know this each and every day. And as I practice, it will develop, and that practice and development also turns into miracles as well. Because and that being able to be open-minded, lets those things come in is that I don't have to know how these things are going to happen, how I'm going to receive that creativity. I don't have to know where it's going to expand to, but it's going to be expansive. It is. It can't help but not be if I don't own other people's opinions of me. If I get to live authentically. And that's what we all want. Is that what you would define as success, is being able to live authentically, to live a life that you're happy to have and living in your own skin, to where you're not second guessing and questioning your thoughts, words, actions, and deeds? You know, I think that's where we succeed, right? And a lot of people don't do that and they still succeed, but that's not our business, right? So I know there's an argument for every solution. There's a problem for every solution, but there's a solution for every problem. It goes back to those polarities that I'm talking about. Is with, you know, life on life's terms it goes up and down, up and down. And then we get to make choices and decisions based on that resonate within our own soul. So I know that now at this uncertain times people are searching, you know. These uncertain times have people feeling out of balance, and a lot of people are just trying to find balance. I myself quit searching for the balance, because as soon as I think I'm balanced in one place, since this started, you know, I would think, okay, well, as soon as this happens, I'm going to be able to do this. Well, things keep going, but I've had so many, you know, experiences, so many adventures since this started that I didn't know that I was going to have. And it comes from being open-minded. It comes from accepting, you know, if somebody says, hey, if somebody that I don't know says, hey, do you want to have a coffee? And I say, okay, you know, that being able to be connected without fear. So whatever you do, I'm not telling you to be reckless, because I can't tell you what to do anyway. You know, I'm just saying that, you know, what is success for you? You know, it's a crazy time. Some people's success might be just going out of their house for one day. But to be able to encourage other people. So when I talked about the naysayers earlier, don't be a naysayer. Encourage people with their micro wins. You know, it's these little things that we're all, you know, doing to adjust and adapt to the way that things are now. So let's be kind to each other. So with this being said, I hope that this video has helped you. I hope that it's helped you to expand yourself, to expand just even one thought, because that's a micro, right? But to do one thing differently, you know, and pray about it, meditate about it, do whatever, chant about it, whatever you need to do to be able to feel comfortable in your own skin. As always, I offer to give you 30 minutes of my time. You know, I can't help you fix your whole, or, you know, organize all your thoughts and decorate all your thoughts in 30 minutes. That just ain't what I'm trying to do. But what I'm saying is that I want us all to make it. And if you are, you know, struggling and you're so overwhelmed, you know, and that's organizing thoughts is when people are overwhelmed. And when people feel overwhelmed, oftentimes they feel hopeless. That's a perspective, a hopeless perspective. But if you can feel hopeless, you can feel hopeful. So it's being able to take you and guide you through organizing your thoughts to what you can do to feel hopeful. So, you know, in the moment, oftentimes people make, you know, quick decisions that will last permanently over a temporary situation. Let's don't do that. You know, feel free to reach out. I'll give you 30 minutes, like I said, of my time. And yeah, be kind to whoever does reach out to you too. You know, we can all give somebody 30 minutes of our time. You know, it's also learning how to set those boundaries, though, because some people stay in the problem too long. So oftentimes the people that I'm working with, you know, we'll talk about the problem for a few minutes, but we start getting into the solution. Okay? All right. So I hope, again, that this video has been helpful. I thank you each and every week for your time. And I hope that you'll have a good rest of your week, and I look forward to connecting with you again next Wednesday. So until then, I wish you much peace and love, and I thank you so much once again. All right.